everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, well, first of all, this is probably a little bit of a different location for you, and you're gonna see the vlog of when I did all these changes. These pillows are not permanent. They don't really go, but I just thought it might be nice to have some pillows beside me. Since I was doing a Q&A today and just sort of like a chit-chatty video all about the secrets that YouTubers don't want you to know, or just whatever questions you guys had about YouTube, I thought why not film it in a comfy, cozy location. Just got a new king-size mattress by Endy. I am obsessed with it. It is so comfortable, and that vlog will be coming soon. A few months ago, I did a tips for starting a YouTube channel video. A lot of you guys found it helpful, but then I thought, what about answering the questions that you guys want to know that people don't really always talk about, like PR or sponsorships, fake friendships, stuff like that. So I asked you guys on Instagram and Twitter for some questions. I got a bunch of them, so I'm going to jump right into them. So a lot of the questions were about PR packages, or packages that YouTubers get from companies. The questions were like, how do you get them? Do you reach out to companies? Do they reach out to you? Do you get a lot? Like, just general questions, and I do have more specific ones that I'll get into. In terms of how I receive PR packages, I typically am contacted by the company. So I don't make it a habit to reach out to companies just because I feel grateful enough to receive the amount of PR I do. At the end of the day, if I have to go buy a foundation or buy a lip gloss or buy whatever I'm interested in, like, I don't take that as offensive. I also got some questions about when did I get my first PR package. Now you have to remember that I've been on YouTube since 2008. So it's almost 10 years. It's gonna be 10 years in September. I'm gonna say, I was thinking about this. I didn't receive like my first PR package from a big company probably until 2015, 2016. And the first company that I got like a big PR package from was either Smashbox or It Cosmetics. The whole idea of PR packages is kind of new, as is the whole social media landscape and influencer landscape. When I first started receiving packages in the beginning of my YouTube career, it was from more like small businesses, indie brands, nothing really major. I would say it was more so within the last couple of years, well, like 2 years, that companies really started to use influencers to their advantage. I am always so thankful to receive PR packages because, truth be told, I could not afford to buy every single thing that I talk about to share with you guys, just because it can get really expensive. Not to say that I don't buy my own things, because like I said, I have no issue going out and supporting the brands that I'm interested in. However, I am very appreciative of the companies that do send me their products, their new releases, or just restock me on my favorites. I really appreciate companies or PR companies that see the value in influencers, because a lot of people like to discredit us or not give us any credit, but when you really look at the whole situation, you can't say that influencers don't have an impact. There's a reason why companies are putting so much money into their like online advertising, social media advertising, versus to a few years ago, or just even within the last 10 years, where most of their money was going towards magazines and taking the magazine editors on trips. I don't typically reach out to companies. I do sometimes, like in the case of this mattress, after Mike and I got back from vacation, we really wanted to upgrade to a king size mattress, and I was like, oh, like I've heard so much about the mattress in a box companies, like I'm just gonna look for those. Something that really like opened my eyes a little bit was on the trip I was talking to some other YouTubers, and we were just like chatting. It was really cool to be able to talk about insides of YouTube and stuff like that, because I don't really have a lot of people that I can talk to. Like obviously I can talk to Tony, but it's different being around people who just get it. He was telling me, he was like, yeah, if I am working on something and I think a brand would be a good fit, I'll reach out and be like, oh, like I'm planning this video, I'd love to include some of your products, blah, blah, blah. And most of the time companies are open to sending you product. I think it's really important to have good engagement. Companies are getting smarter, which I think is great, because engagement is really, really important. You would be shocked at the amount of people that you follow who have bought followers. Companies are looking at engagement levels and engagement rates. A lot of people will be like, oh, you have this many subscribers, we only get this amount of views. Like if you look at Kim Kardashian's Instagram, for example, I believe when I looked at it, I think she had like less than 2% engagement rate, which is crazy, because how many Instagram followers does she have? So Kim Kardashian has 112 million followers, and on her pictures she gets like 1.6 million likes, 350,000 likes, 1.5 million likes. People always say, oh, like how sad this person has this many subscribers, but she's only getting this amount of views. But you know, it makes sense because people might forget the password on their accounts. They might not be interested in the content. They might have, you know, made new accounts. So engagement is really important. How I get my PR packages typically is either the brand will reach out to me directly. I also work with a few different PR companies that represent different brands, and so they'll send me packages. So for the most part, I don't really reach out to companies, but like in the case of this bed, I was about to email some of them, and then one of the PR companies I work with posted on Instagram like, oh, like our new client, Andy, and I was like, oh my god, perfect. So I reached out to them and it turned out to work really well. Do you get sent a lot of products? How often are you required to review them? I do get sent a lot of product. I don't show every single thing I get on like online or on Instagram, because I don't know if you guys really like it, but like when I'm really excited about something, I'm gonna share it. So I do receive a lot of products. I'm like on a first name basis with all the delivery people, and they probably think I have the biggest shopping addiction in the world. In terms of if I'm required to review them, no. Unless there is like a clear contract written, I am not required to show them, talk about them, review them, feature them, whatever. A lot of times brands will just send out product in the hopes that an influencer will mention them, promote them. If a company is like really demanding in terms of what they expect from me, it kind of turns me off, because not to be like, oh, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to talk about it, but I just find it a little fishy when they're like sending you all these requirements before you have even tried it. And that, like a prime example of that is with Flat Tummy Tea. I think I did a vlog about it, but it was so like disheartening to see how many influencers posted the exact thing they wanted me to post 5 days after receiving the product, when it's a 12-day system. No, I'm not required to review them. I'll feature products if I like them. Something I also want to say is, as I've gotten older, I am more selective with what I accept. I feel like I'm constantly in a state of decluttering. So if I'm not genuinely excited about a product or interested in a product, I will decline their offer, just because as a small business owner myself, I don't want to accept something, make them spend money on their inventory, on their like shipping, so I won't accept things that I'm not genuinely interested in. Okay, so I feel like we talked about PR enough. How often do YouTubers get paid? Once a month, every other week. So it depends on the way that your monetization is set up. So I was with Fullscreen Network, which I do not recommend signing with a network. They take your money and they don't really do much for you in my experience. So I would get paid every last day of the month. So I get paid once a month from like Google AdSense, or at the time Fullscreen. I'm now with Google AdSense again. And then in terms of like sponsored content, it depends. Like some agreements have like a net 30 deal. Some payments are instant. Some companies are really good about paying their talent or their influencers quickly. Some companies aren't. I've learned that. But for the most part, I get paid once a month for my Google AdSense, and then, you know, depending on like my other streams of income, like my affiliate links, or if I do a sponsored post, those are kind of random. Well, the affiliate links are every other Friday. Okay, this is a question about PR, but kind of different. So when you first started out and didn't get PR, did you find it difficult to always be buying new products? Did you set aside a specific amount of money to purchase products for YouTube? Do you constantly feel like you're cleaning out your makeup or clothing because you buy a lot for YouTube videos or Instagram posts? When I was first starting out, I was younger. I was buying a lot of MAC makeup. I was really into MAC at the time. I didn't really have a good grasp on money at the time, truthfully, so I didn't have any responsibilities. I wasn't paying rent. I wasn't paying electricity. Like, I had no expenses except whatever I wanted. I didn't find it difficult. I never buy something that I'm not really interested in. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not a like makeup review channel, so I don't feel the need to buy every single new product. Do you constantly feel like you're cleaning out your makeup and clothing? Yes. I feel like in every single vlog, I'm like, I'm decluttering, I'm decluttering, I'm decluttering, because it's just, like I said, constant stream of products, of clothes, of this and that. So I feel like I'm constantly cleaning out, giving stuff away, donating things, giving things to my friends. It's just, I'm constantly trying to have less and less and less, and it's hard. So how does it work getting paid? Is it per view, per subscriber? I work in an ad agency and I do social, and the cost per video view is so cheap that I wonder what percentage that you get. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know exactly how the whole payment thing works. Of course, views are the main thing. I don't think that you don't get paid per subscriber. How did you start out? Did you need to invest in anything to get started and then start to get PR from companies? So I started YouTube when I was 13 years old. It was September 11th, 2008. I had found some YouTube channels. I became obsessed with them. So Sephora had just opened in my local mall, and I bought some things, ended up doing a haul video, and the rest is history. So the way I kind of explain it is, as a child, I was overweight, I didn't do sports, I didn't really have a hobby, and eventually YouTube became my hobby, and I just fell in love with it, stuck with it. I mean, took breaks here and there, especially when I was younger. It was such a new space at the time. If you want to hear more about my story, I'll link the original video down below. I just started. I mean, it wasn't what it is now. It was a completely different environment. People thought like 20,000 subscribers was huge. Did I need to invest in anything to get started? I mean, when I started, I was filming on my MacBook, so I didn't really need to invest in anything. Lighting wasn't a thing, editing wasn't a thing. People would do like one takes and post them. If you wanted to start out and you wanted to invest in some just basic equipment, I would say get a camera. You could probably even film on your iPhone. I mean, I vlog and film on my iPhone. So right now I'm using my Canon. I think the trick with iPhone vlogging is good lighting, and especially if you're going to be filming like sit-down videos with your iPhone, you need good lighting. And then if you want, you can invest in a ring light. I think mine was like 114 bucks from Amazon. And then of course like an editing software, so Windows Movie Maker or MacBook Pro or iMovie. I've always been curious about if every YouTuber has a manager, and why do they have that manager? Is it necessary after a larger following, or is it optional? I am sure you have had many people offer to help you. Also, how do you turn brands down whenever their products are something you don't believe in? So not every single YouTuber has a manager. I know a lot of big YouTubers are like self-managed or their husband helps. I actually just had a meeting with a management company in Montreal that I'm most likely going to be signing with. Since YouTube is and social media is such a new space, people are kind of making up rules as they go. So I feel like management, if you have a good manager, I've had a terrible one. If you have a good manager, they'll help you secure you deals, because they should have relationships with brands that you might not have that relationship with. They understand what you should be charging, what your rate should be. I definitely don't think it's necessary after a larger following. However, if you are interested in management, I think it's really important to sign with a management agency that still lets you have creative control, that doesn't try and micromanage every single thing about you. You also want a professional manager. You want someone who is not going to respond to emails with so many grammatical errors that it doesn't make any sense. I think that you have to do your due diligence when it comes to managers, which I've learned. But it's not necessary to have a manager. A lot of big YouTubers don't have managers. I don't like negotiating. For me, management is good because they can negotiate, they know what to charge, they know how it all works, they know the ins and outs of this business. How do I edit iMovie? What's your daily routine? It depends on the day. I typically wake up around like 7:45, 8 a.m., have my lemon water, check out emails, catch up on social media, and then I try and get early as possible in the day, because I feel like if you get ready, you're more motivated to get out and do things. You know, instead of having to get ready, you're just ready. So I try and get ready as early as I can. Some days are more YouTube focused days because I'm trying to get a backlog of videos right now. Other days it's more CNC, Signet, TNS, and I think it's really important as a YouTuber or as someone who's self-employed in general. I think it's good to get yourself on a little bit of a schedule and also get ready, because it's so easy to just be, oh, I'm just gonna sit down and work on this for a little bit, like with my coffee, and then next thing you know, it's 2 p.m. and you're in your pajamas and you feel like a lazy slob even though you've been working. I feel like that's one of the reasons why so many YouTubers are depressed, because, you know, you're in your apartment every day, you're not seeing people, interacting with people all the time like you are if you are in a normal work environment. It's hard when you don't have a schedule. I feel like schedules are really helpful in terms of mental health. This is more of a personal question. Have you ever experienced fake friends with fellow YouTubers or people using you for subscribers? I've dealt with a few fake people on YouTube, people who you wouldn't expect. And because I am not about all that drama and spilling the tea and stuff like that, I didn't come on here and say, oh, this person's a bitch and she said this and she said that. I feel like when you put that energy out into the universe, it's only gonna come back to you. Because what? I have this experience with this person, I sit down, film a video exposing them, then what? They're gonna respond, their subscribers are gonna attack me, my subscribers are gonna attack them. It's just a vicious cycle. For me, I deal with things privately, keep it in the back of my mind. Karma's a bigger bitch than I could ever be. At the end of the day, Just like there's some shitty people in real life, there's gonna be some shitty people on YouTube. Their actions speak more about them than they do about you. I let it go because I don't want to hold on to that energy, and I don't think it's healthy. How do you negotiate how much you'll make off a sponsored post or video? I am not a good negotiator, and you guys know I don't do a lot of sponsored content. I'm gonna be honest, I don't do a lot of negotiating, which is probably why it's a good idea for me to get a manager, because who knows, maybe I'm being underpaid, maybe I'm being overpaid, like I don't know. If a company reaches out to me and it seems like a fair price for what they're asking of me, then I'll do it. A lot of the times I'm just excited to be working with that company that I'm not like, ooh, I need more, I need more, I need more. Like I'm not a greedy person in terms of that. Okay, so this is a question about negativity and I guess hate comments. How do you motivate yourself to make videos and not get influenced by negative comments? So I'm not gonna lie, this is something that I have been struggling with for, not the mean comments, okay? I would say something that I've been struggling with is for a while, I just took so much off of my channel. I used to be so open. It got to the point where like I felt like I couldn't do anything without people being like, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, this is that. Like just nitpicking. So I was like, you know what, fine. I'm just not gonna post this stuff anymore. If you guys wanna bitch and complain and moan and groan about everything, I'm just not gonna post it. But that took like some of the fun out for me because I do like sharing certain things. I kind of had a little bit of a revelation within the past couple of weeks where I just wanted to be more open with you guys again, and I kind of just felt a shift in my emotions and feelings when it came to YouTube. I just felt free again. You know, I've been called every name in the book. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. There is nothing anyone can say to me, literally nothing, that I haven't been called before. Those people are still watching. They're some of the most dedicated viewers. There's a reason why whenever I upload a new video that within minutes I have multiple thumbs downs. And if you look at my videos, all of them have around the same amount of thumbs downs, which I just find funny because it's like these same people who don't like me come to every single one of my videos, give me a view, interact with me, because heads up, Google doesn't care whether a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's still engagement. So at the end of the day, you are helping me. And you know what they say, like those are your most dedicated viewers or fans. So some last questions. Do you still make money or ad revenue from past videos? Yes, as long as there is an ad on that video, we will continue making money off of it for its lifetime, for as long as it's public on YouTube. I also got a question about taxes as a YouTuber. My number one tip for that is get an accountant, because okay, well I guess if you are well versed in accounting and everything like that, you might be able to do your taxes yourself, but I do not like numbers. I find it so overwhelming, and I'd rather just pay someone to do it right. Something that is very misconstrued is that people think that YouTubers can just write off every single makeup product that they use. In terms of how I understand it, you can write off things that you bought purposely to feature or to use for your work. So like let's say you go to an event and you need a dress, like that dress can be a write-off. But like for me going to a random store getting a lip liner, I can't write off that lip liner. My biggest tip for managing your money and income so that you're not freaking out like when you're at tax season is to keep like an Excel spreadsheet. So like what I'll do is like every time I get a payment or something, I'll just add it into the spreadsheet. I also have like a paper organizer, so all my receipts I put in there so that I don't lose them. What is your least favorite aspect of being a YouTuber or influencer? I feel like people are just, they don't understand it because it's still such a new job or career. As a result, people think that we're lazy or that we don't do a lot of work. I'm lucky enough to be able to be my own boss, make my own hours. You know, if I want to go on vacation, I can. My job is very flexible. Of course, it's such a great job. Like I even feel bad saying this because I love YouTube. I love what it's done for me. I don't think I'd be the same person I am today without YouTube. However, it's sort of like a double-edged sword because at the same time, you're often alone a lot. I feel like that's a reason why YouTubers are, like so many of us have issues with anxiety and depression, because you're in the same four walls like all the time. Like maybe not in your bedroom, but in your apartment. You don't really have a lot of structure. You can kind of do what you want, when you want. Not everyone has a whole squad or like a team 10. A lot of the times it's me alone. That can be very lonely sometimes. So that's why I think that setting a schedule for yourself is really helpful. Another thing is like you're never really off. I'm such a terrible texter and I feel so bad for all my friends because I am like the worst texter in the world, and it's nothing personal. But for me, everything in my life is on this phone. Like when Mike's done work for the day, he comes home, he can just chill. But with me, it's like, oh, I should be editing a video, I should be responding to comments, I should be responding to emails, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. So you don't really get time off. Like even on vacation, you don't really get time off. And it sounds like so stupid, like, oh, you don't get time off. But like, I don't know, I can't really explain it. If you're in it, you get it. Okay guys, so that pretty much wraps up all the questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do a follow-up, just leave your comments down below or I'll just respond to you in the comments. I also got a lot of questions from people saying, do you think it's too late to start a YouTube channel now? I don't. Every time a person says to me, I want to start a YouTube channel, like, but I feel like I can't, I'm like, just do it. It's so rewarding, it's so much fun, and you never know unless you try. I think that if you want to do it, you can just do it. Even if you don't make it public for people yet, just film it for yourself, upload it on private for yourself. I don't think it's too late to start. I think that the world is your oyster. This whole landscape is constantly evolving and growing, so I don't think it's too late. I think that if it's something you want to do, you should definitely do it. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day or night depending on when you watch this. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you're always notified whenever one of my new videos goes up, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.